wherein he will take you through the various steps, and so that we start to question. The purpose of human life is to question, and the questioning starts from who we are, what is our nature, etc. So I will hand over the mic to Swami Gauranga. Thank you very much.
With all of you discussing such an important topic in life, and I would really appreciate if all of you can make it interactive. I would be asking you some questions, and I would also very much like if you please put forward your questions. Please feel free, because the spiritual science is not blind faith. It begins with inquiry. So please have an open mind, and would value your participation. So I will chant the invocation mantra. You can repeat after. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Dhirastantra namuyati.
Dhirastantra namuyati.
Intelligent, obviously. That is why you are learning computer science. It's meant for the green of the people. So I would like to ask you the question, how many of you have thought about your own self? Can you raise your hands? How many of you have thought about your own self? What do you think? What is your identity? Okay, I'll ask you a simpler question. How many of you stand in front of a mirror daily? Everybody. So, when you are standing in front of the mirror, you decorate your hair, your body, wear nice clothes, always think so much about yourself. So I would like to ask you this question. Have you ever thought that, who are you? Have you ever thought about it?
First and foremost, we are all human beings. The next,
Yes.
about the knowledge.
Yes. But human beings means what exactly? Homo sapiens.
Who are able to think and do the things properly. Correct.
Yeah. But the thinking faculty comes from the mind, right? But when you say it is my mind is working nicely today. So obviously it means that you are not the mind. When I say my computer, I cannot be the computer, I possess the computer. So when you say my mind, you are not the mind. So when we are thinking and feeling, so what do we think? Who are we? That is my question.
You have the control over your mind, right? So obviously it is your mind.
Yeah, right. It is your mind. You have the control, but who are you? That is my question. My hand, my body, my nose, my job, my home, everything is ours. and we try to give ourselves happiness, we try to live enjoyable life. But how can we do that without knowing our real identity? Can you make yourself happy without knowing who you are? One person wanted to make himself happy. He thought he is the coat, so he's brushing the coat the whole day. He's cleaning the coat. But in the night he came to know, no, I am not the coat. This is my coat. So simply brushing the coat will not make me happy. So, what do you think you are? I mean, this is the basic education. We should be given in all colleges, all universities and all faculties, basic education of who am I. Then we will be able to perform all branches of education very nicely. So if you ask this question in front of the mirror, what do you think? What answer will you get?
Everybody has an ambition in their life. Probably at your younger stage, you may be thinking I would become a doctor after 20 years.
Yes.
So you prepare yourself, and that is your goal. And you prepare yourself, you build up yourself, and you become what you want.
Okay.
But practically speaking,
Okay, you want to become what you want to be, but I am talking
yeah,
about the present tense. First of all, who are you presently?
I'm in the transformation phase. If I think I want to be a doctor after 20 years, when I ask the same question at my 10th year, I would say I'm in the transformation phase of a doctor.
Okay, but what is transforming? Who is transforming?
I'm transforming.
Okay, then if you are transforming, then why does your mother call you with the same name? You have seen your childhood photo?
So many times.
Yeah. And your present photo, is there any difference?
A lot of difference.
Lots of difference. You are completely transformed. But
that
your
is physical transformation. I'm talking about the mental agility. Whatever you
yeah, exactly. So I am also talking about that. I want to really pinpoint who are you.
So what I mean to say, I may not be able to answer this question when you ask me now. But maybe able to answer
Maybe
the same
after
question
this-
after 20 years.
No, after this program you will be able to answer.
Okay.
Money back guarantee. If you cannot answer, then I will take back the time. I am not charging any money. At least I can take back the time. And then, yes.
I am a part of God, and this world is made by the God, and it's a life that stays,
Okay.
and we are only playing a part role.
Yes. What you are talking about is quite advanced level studies, like you talk of Java and Pascal and Fortran, and all this is. My basic question is, whom do you identify yourself? You are the possessor of your mind, your body, you are the controller. So obviously you are somewhat different from mind. You are different from intelligence, you are different from your body, because all of them belong to you. So this basic question is known as the question of the science of self-realization. It's very simple, but it is the basic question of human life. And that we should address, because we see easy to point to our eye or to the nose. We can point easily to any part of ourselves. But can we point to us? Who are we? And why can't we point? Because of lack of proper education. Unfortunately, this science of the soul is not being taught in all colleges and departments, because of this is known as the king of all knowledge. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is said, Raj Vidya Raj Guhyam Pavitram Nidamuttamam. This is the topmost knowledge, king of all knowledge. At the same time, it is the most confidential of all knowledge. Why it is confidential? Because we never ask this question. It requires somebody who is enlightened to tell us actually who we are. So we go over to the next slide.
I have a question.
Yeah.
When you say you are completely separate from your intelligence or mind or
Yes.
whatever it is, how do you define this intelligence?
What I
Is that
suggest is you wait
intelligence-
for a few more slides and then you note down your question. Then if your question not clarified, then I will reply to that. In our quest to analyze who are we actually, we go to the laboratory in Los Angeles where the doctors, they dissected our body. They analyzed the constituents of our body, and they found that they made up of basically calcium, iron, phosphorus, water, contain other sparing substances. Basically, water content of our body is how much?
70%.
Around 78%. Our body is composed of water and other sparingly calcium, iron, phosphorus. So if I tell you, you are just water, 78% you are water, you will all say, Swamiji, you are gone mad. We have such intelligence, we are learning computer course, how can we simply be water? So obviously we are not water, though our body is made up of 78% water and all other constituents, and the scientists, they made a market value of all the constituents of our body, and they came out, what is the value? 110 rupees or $2. That is the value of our body, which is made up of flesh, bones, mucus, blood, stool, everything. So my question again to you is, do you think your value is 110 rupees? No. Obviously not. Why? If you think you are the body, then you are worth 110 rupees. But obviously, we are not the body. You say my body. I am somebody different. I am the master of the body. I am the possessor of the body. So, the value, our value is more than, what is your value? Can you tell me? What do you think you are worth? How much? Nobody knows. You are not worth.
It depends on the identity, how you maintain the society.
Is it so complex?
Like dignified.
No, I mean if somebody will come to buy you, get sold to me, how much you will charge him? What do you think your worth is?
Only maybe
Countless.
maybe kidnapper, maybe the extortion.
Yes. So you will not put the value to yourself. You know you are more worth than crores of rupees. Invaluable. Everyone, the most dear thing is us, ourselves. So I am just trying to explain to you logically that that we ourselves, we are something very high. We are not simply a product of chemicals. We are not simply matter, dead matter. This body is simply dead matter. At the time of death, the body is totally bereft of any consciousness. And that is, if somebody would come to pay 110 rupees, nobody would even pay 110 rupees for us, our bodies, at the time of death. So what I am trying to tell you is we are something superior. We are something superior than the body. We are the controller of the body. And that we should try to think about. Because this questions can only arise in advanced intelligence. Human beings, animals. Can cows and dogs come and attend this course here? They can't come. Even if we give them a chair to sit, they will not understand anything. So this question cannot be asked in any other body. Only in the human body we can ask this question: who am I? Where am I going? What is my goal in life? Who is God? Am I worth only 110 rupees? So this is a very important part of our education, and so happy that Umesh has included this part of education also along with this computer institute. So he is giving you the highest benefit on all levels. Without Without this knowledge, without this inquiry of who am I, we are simply living our life like sophisticated animals. There is no difference between us and animals. I ask you a question, you go to sleep in a nice bed, soft bed, firm, and after you sleep, you get the pleasure of sleep. But a dog, it sleeps on the street in the dust. So after sleeping, does the dog get more pleasure or less pleasure? Same. The pleasure is the same, sleeping. So, is the human life meant for sleeping? It's not meant for sleeping, because that same enjoyment is available to the dog also. It's just like, you drink water in a golden cup or a silver cup or a copper cup. The taste of the water is the same. So, sleeping, eating. There is a society in America, they just live to eat. They don't eat to live. They live for eating. What they do is that they gather in big society and they eat so much that they are full like this. Then they go to the wash basin, they vomit, and again they come and eat. They are simply living to eat. So I mean, if you analyze the pig when it eats plastic and paper and tin and all that, the pig gets the same taste when we eat rasagulla or halwa. For us there are different delicacies. For the pig it is also different delicacies, but there is a different brand of delicacies. The only problem is the pig, we have to pay money to buy the delicacies. For the pig it is free. The pig can go anytime in the garbage and eat anything. Anytime. So, we have been given the human life for some higher purpose. Not for just eating and sleeping. I have seen people, when I travel to different places in the trains, in the planes, they are talking about food. Hours and hours, they just keep on talking, this I will cook, this, that, this. I am just surprised. If you want to live for eating, then more facility is there in the pig body or in a horse body or elephant body. They can eat 140 tons, elephants. So we don't require a human body just for eating. There is a higher purpose behind this. For fighting, we require a machine gun, AK-47 to fight, which is worth how much? Lakhs of rupees. But the dogs, they are fighting for free with their claws. They are fighting and quarreling. They are doing better than us. They mark their territory. Don't come here inside. Don't come. And we are just fighting cold wars and hot wars between countries. No country is realizing the fact that nobody is the proprietor. To speak of that person, what was his name, who went to America for the first time? Columbus. He went to America and he planted his flag there. And he said, from today America is mine. But before he's going, whose America was? America belonged to whom? Before he went? America West Pussy. Okay, before West Pussy,
Nature.
Yes. And after he died, we'll live for 60, 70, 80 years and we claim proprietorship. Oh, this is mine, that is mine. And we keep on fighting. There is so much, the countries, they all made all bombs, atom bombs, and just thought of the mind, anybody can press the button. No, simply we are fighting. We are just sophisticated dogs. We call ourselves civilized human beings, but actually just animals. We are just, if you keep our dogs in a packed room, what will the dogs do?
Fighting each other.
They will not love each other. They will start fighting and breaking blood from each other. Similarly, nowadays, there is no peace in society, no peace. They are having so many meetings, non-aligned in United Nations, but as when much United Nations they make, that many flags are increasing. You see there are new nations coming up every year, they are division, they are dividing. So why nobody is happy in this world? Because nobody is inquiring about the higher purpose of human life. They want to provide some artificial patchwork solution, having United Nations and peace meetings. But unless we address this question of who am I, unless there is peace on an individual level, how can there be peace on collective level? You cannot possibly bring the peace. If you simply want to waste your life for mating, now mating is a very big fashion nowadays. Everyone wants to live for that. All the propaganda is for that. But for mating, the pigeon body is more conducive. A pigeon is mating 40 times in the day. Human beings can do 1 or 2 or 3 times. So human life is again not meant for simply for mating. It is meant for some higher purpose. And that we need to, otherwise we just become two-legged animals. No difference. And the misidentification problem in society, that if we don't know who we are 30 years, 40 years of age, 50 years of age, but still we don't know who we are. Half of our life is gone. Still we don't know actually what is our real identity, and because of that, unemployment, rape, crime, corruption, mental stress, divorce, suicide, violence, murder, drug addiction, all these problems are coming, and nobody is trying to address the root cause of the suffering going on in human society. The root cause of the suffering is a lack of Atma-Gyan. Who am I? So we will try to address this question. The rat race, survival of the fittest. If you don't work like a donkey, you will perish. Come on the street. The modern education is geared to only providing you with everything good job, good placement, good money, everything. But we remain unsatisfied. Even if we have the best job, best money, still we remain unsatisfied in our life unless we address this question. And real education, real science should address these 4 problems. According to Bhagavad Gita, Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi Dukkha Doshanu Darshanam. First, try to address these 4 problems of birth, old age, disease and death. These are the basic problems of human society. So real science should address these 4 problems and how we can get out of these 4 problems. There are so many medicines, so much hospitals coming up, but if you see the disease and the death rate, the mortality rate is going 60, 50, 70, 60, it is, people are living for less, and there are so many new diseases coming up. Old age, nobody is able to solve the problem of old age. The scientists are promising we will develop a pill which will make you immortal. We will stop old age. But that is not coming. Why? Do you have faith that the scientists will come up with a solution for death? No, never.
I won't agree with this we made because this is what we think and every time. We never thought about going to moon or a star or whatever.
Yeah.
When Galileo said Earth is not flat, it's round, everybody told them, and then we realized it's actually
okay. So you still feel there is a chance?
Yeah, obviously, yes.
Okay. Then I would like to ask that then why don't they show us some proof right now? I mean, at least make a cockroach, in the laboratory. Forget the human being, a dead cockroach. Why can't they make it alive?
We are at a point of time where we may not be able to show the proof as what you asked. But maybe at later stage, we may be coming up with.
Yeah, there was some institutes and hospitals, and they started in abroad to try to find out the cure for disease and old age and death. But what happened is the doctors who were trying to find out the cure for death, they also died. That is
we can give some live examples, but these are the situations happening currently.
No, my question is that now, presently in the biological, if you have studied MBBS, the biological science knows that each and every reaction which is going on in the body, very clearly known. There are so many big books, MBBS. It's very clearly known what is each and every reaction going on in this body. So why don't they identify that reaction which is stopping at the time of death, which should be triggered again to make him alive? Why don't they can't even identify? Okay, we believe that they will come out with some medication. But why can't they? They have so many X-rays and so many scans. Why can't they at least identify what chemicals they can inject at the time of death to make a dead person back to life? At least give us some, otherwise, I can make out a check of 1 crore rupees and you take it, but there is no money in the bank. So what is the use? The blank check, the scientists, okay, wait, we will make you immortal, we will make you, and just they fill their pockets, and then they themselves die, and then, we ourselves, and another thing is their theories keep on changing. Dalton's theory, then Einstein's theory, and every time the new theory comes, the old theory is negated. Oh no, this is a change. Now Darwin's theory that man has come from monkey is under big challenge in USA. People are challenging because nobody is seeing that a man is converted to monkey. Have you seen?
We are still discovering that is the technology.
But have you seen a man converted to monkey?
Sorry?
Have you seen a man being changed into monkey? Yeah. So, there should be some proof claim. And if monkeys are becoming man, why are there still monkeys there living? And why not a single person has seen the monkeys becoming man? And we foolishly gave Charles Darwin the Nobel Prize. For what? For calling our ancestors monkeys. If somebody would come and tell you your ancestor is monkey, what you will do to him? Will you give him the Nobel Prize? Your dada, father's dada is a monkey. Somebody will come and tell you. What you will do? Yeah, obviously. But here we see they are giving him the Nobel Prize.
If you have any answer, they are not willing to answer.
Yeah, I have all the answers. But give me some time. So, So, 25 lakhs, very costly. His body is only 110. Calcium, phosphorus, that you can get in the laboratory. Don't save him, save the car. They say, no, my dear sir, he is the owner. If he lives, he can buy hundreds of cars. He is the owner. He is not the car. He is the owner of the car. This is a very, very sad irony which everyone has to go in our life. Every one of us has to pass. The irony of the time of death. We love someone throughout our life, but when that person dies, we don't even look at them. We say, take it away. Take it away. We don't even say he or she. Throughout our life, we are loving them, but when they die, we say, take it away. So my question to you is, why don't you love them? Still they are lying on the ground. Their body is still there. Why don't you love them? Why don't you talk with them? What do you think?
I read in some book, somebody is doing that. He has his wife's body in his place and he's still loving his wife.
But I am speaking, why do 99.9% of people don't do that? Someone is a rare case. I don't know whether how much time he will be able to do that. When the body will become smelling, he will also say, take it. How much time he can do that. So, what do you think? Why we don't love the body? It is still the same, exactly the same. The person whom we are loving is exactly the same and is still in front of us.
It's not having life.
You are not loving your body, please.
We love some person's characters, not the body. I mean, you keep saying that we love the body, obviously not. When you say I love the body, I will love you.
Yeah. Now you are becoming intelligent.
No, we all are actually.
It's just awakening.
Because it's just the body that's life, but the soul is not life.
Yeah.
Loving your soul.
When I say I love this guy, I don't actually mean I love his body. I may say I love his character, his future, whatever it
Yeah.
is.
And then character, what happens to the character at the time of death?
Obviously, it's just the intelligence you have to use.
Yeah. Why is the character gone? That is my question. The time of death, why does the character vanish?
Everybody knows the answer to this question.
Yeah. So, just like someone already have answered, that the real love in this world is not between the body, because it is simply dead matter. The real love is between spirit. There is a higher consciousness in our body, which is known as spirit or soul, which is the center of consciousness. You see my hand moving, my head moving, my legs moving. That movement in the body is due to consciousness. You accept that?
How about the physical strength then?
Exactly, that's what I'm talking about. Physical strength, mental strength, all faculties of thinking, mind,
It is
intelligence.
the combined effect. If you don't have food for 3 weeks, you cannot live. So when you say my soul is completely different, I don't want my body, then can you live for more
No,
than a month?
the body is a vehicle to the soul. You need the body. Without the body, the soul cannot
It's also a
function.
combined effect. I mean, when somebody dies and if you say you can still see the body, you don't want them, I would obviously say no, because it's not the only thing I wanted from him when he was living. I wanted more other than the body.
You wanted the soul, basically. You want the soul to be there in the body, then you will love the body. So that is my point. What I am trying to say is that body is required. We need to maintain our body. Body should not be neglected. It is a very important vehicle for self-realization, for any branch of knowledge, for any success in life. The body is required and we have to maintain it. But we should also understand who we are. We are not simply a combination of chemicals.
When you agree body is the vehicle for our soul, then what is wrong in thinking about food? You gave an example, somebody was always talking about the food.
Yeah.
And you realize the body is important for you. What is wrong in thinking about food? Whatever
I am
you
saying
have.
that you eat food to maintain your body, not to...
You should have, right?
Yeah. I was talking about those people who eat to live, who live to eat. You should eat to live. I do not say that is wrong. You have to eat, you have to nourish your body to live. I am talking those who are living just for eating. So, there is something which leaves the body at the time of death, obviously. That is what I am trying to say. There is something which is leaving the body, because if simply the reactions are stopping, then why can't the scientists start the reactions again? There is some factor which is leaving the body, which the body is devoid of. That is why we are no longer loving the body, and that is life. And life is not simply a combination of chemicals. There is a higher nature, it is known as spirit or soul, which resides in the body. And when the body, when the appropriate time comes, according to Vedas, it is described that the number of breaths the soul will take in a body is fixed. According to our past activities, we have already determined how many breaths we are going to take in our body. So when the time is finished, then even the doctor sometimes elongate the life of a person. They say, oh, I saved the person. But it actually is number of breaths were destined. If the number of breaths were not destined to live that much, then the doctor would not have been able to save that man. So that factor of the soul is neglected in the modern world. 99.9% of the people are not thinking about the soul. So I am just saying that why don't we have a balance? Body and soul should have a balance. At least both the knowledge should be learned. Then we will be more happy in our life. It's just our body is just like a car. It's a horn. Car has a horn. We have a mouth. Car has headlights. We have eyes. Car has a radiator to pump water, and we have heart to pump blood. It is pumping, and car has 4 wheels. We have hands and legs. When I ask you a question, if the car just stands there for thousands of years, without a driver, can the car move?
Scientists and sciences always, define the human body as a machine. They have never represented the human body as a different, superior or something.
Human body is a machine. Bhagavad Gita also says.
And that is what you are saying. You are just comparing both machine and a man.
Yeah. But are you the machine? You are the controller of the machine.
Technology, that is what
Science does not identify yourself. Science says you are machine and at the time of death you become dust.
Yeah, and we have proof for everything. Science and technology has proof for everything.
So we have
whatever
proof.
it says. You say number of breaths for a human being has been already decided when he wants, right?
Yes.
So what is the proof for that?
I will give you the proof. The proof is when you get born from your mother's womb. What is the proof that he is your father? No, I am just asking a question. How do you know?
Your mom says.
Exactly. So the proof of some things, there are many things you have believed without proof. I tell you, what is the proof for 2 plus 2 equal to 4? I say 2 plus 2 equal to 6. Has anybody proved to you? Tell me the proof for 2 plus 2 equal to 4.
It is the logic.
There are some axioms in science, computer science or any science, there are some axioms which cannot be questioned.
There is no proof for that, but we have decided 2 plus 2 is 4.
Yeah. So, I mean,
what is wrong with that?
Yeah. So, but you have accepted it blindly.
No, we
You are
haven't
not
accepted it blindly. I am not saying 2 plus 2 is 4 and he doesn't say 2 plus 2 is 6. We all say 2 plus 2 is 4.
Majority doesn't mean it is the truth.
No, it is not majority, everybody, 100%.
There is no proof that saying that.
But what is the proof?
Make a standard.
Why?
Yeah, we have standardized everything.
Yeah.
We know what are our
So
characters, we know the responsibilities,
you don't have any
we know
proof.
the needs,
Yeah.
and then we have decided everything among ourselves.
So similarly, when God created this universe, along with that, God created a manual which is known as the Vedas.
But how do you even say God has created the world? What is the proof for that? When I say 2 plus 2 is...
Because the scientists have identified the creation as the Big Bang. Big Bang theory. You tell me how the world was created. Do you have explanation?
Now we have the evolutionary theory, so many theories.
Yeah.
We are at least trying to prove that this is what the exact what has happened.
But the Big Bang theory, but the scientists are not able to explain where the original mass came from.
No, we don't have that. Like I said,
exactly.
there may not be
So
a correct answer
why don't
for
you
all your
accept?
questions
Why don't
now,
you?
but we are able to answer, if not 100%, we are able to answer at least 40 to 50%.
No, but there is a chance that it may be totally mental speculation because there is no proof. Like the scientist theories totally keep on changing. Now
that is invention. That is discovery or invention, whatever you say. That is the advanced stage of
truth cannot be invented. Truth is already truth. It is absolute.
Discover. You say discover. Yeah, we keep discovering.
When Isaac Newton discovered the theory of gravitation, the apple fell on his head. He discovered the theory of gravitation. But did he ask who made the law of gravitation? Behind every law, there has to be a lawmaker. Like when you travel in Bangalore on the streets, you see the traffic signal. You understand. Children may say, "Oh, this signal is going on automatically," but a person will understand somebody is pressing the button. There has to be some controller. Isaac Newton was a believer in God. When he wanted to teach his fellow scientists about God, so he invited his scientists to his home, and he made a model of the solar system. And he went behind, and when his friend entered into the home, he just started moving the solar system model behind from his cabin. He pressed the button, and the solar system model was moving. And his scientist friend said, "Oh, it's moving. Somebody must be there to move it. It cannot move on its own." So Isaac Newton came out and said, to move a model like this, you require intelligence behind it. So do you think everything is moving by chance?
But we have scientific explanations for everything. When you talk about gravity...
No, but what is the explanation for... do you think everything is
I
happening?
may not be able to answer what is the root cause, but we have...
Don't you accept that there is an intelligence behind what is going on?
Including the evolution. If you want, I can get you some...
No, but don't you accept that there has to be a higher intelligence? Even a child can understand it. There is a higher... all the planets are floating in orbit. If the sun goes little out of orbit, all the planets will get burned.
Yeah, the
And
answer to this is we do not have the answer, the right answer now. But it is, we cannot just blindly, assume there is somebody.
and when
else
somebody
or there is
comes,
a supreme
when
power
somebody
which is
comes to give you the
controlling.
answer, you don't accept.
It's impossible to get that answer.
You will never get the answer. You will have to wait for millions of years of speculation, because the Vedas say that by the dint of our puny mind.
No, since you are waiting for millions of years, it doesn't mean somebody is controlling everything. I will wait for millions, if not me, my generation will wait for millions of years, they will come to know the truth.
Then you will have to wait, and you will also be controlled.
No, time is
Ultimately,
not the thing.
you will.
No, time is actually not the thing here. The truth is the thing here.
Yeah.
I may not be able to answer your question now. My generation after trillions of years may be able to answer
I
it.
tell you, your eyes, can they see beyond 20 kilometers, maybe 2
I
kilometers?
do agree with you. I am not
Your
able to
eyes are
answer your
imperfect.
question, but
Yeah.
I don't agree with the concept there is some supreme power beyond everything which is controlling all these things.
Okay. Then you are missing.
I may agree, if I
Yeah.
get a proof, if
Yeah.
I actually experience that in my life here.
Yeah. You are experiencing the power now which you are getting to talk. That is coming from a higher power. That is coming from the soul.
But more than 90% of the things which I experience because of the scientific technology.
Something is based on feeling. You can't say
Okay.
here, but if you are feeling is actually here is present.
Can scientists create a grain of rice in the laboratory? Scientists know that hydrogen per oxygen is water. Can they combine hydrogen and oxygen and give water? Till now they have not been able
These
to.
are the possible questions we can ask at this point.
There are so
of time.
many questions
Can
which
do
you are
this?
not
Can you
able to
do that?
answer.
But we may be able to do it
But the
at
answer,
stage.
but the answer is simple. You just have to accept.
Because there are so many proofs.
No, you just have to accept the superior intelligence. Then all it is
That
answer.
is what my point. Since
Yeah.
because I'm not able to answer your question, I'm not ready to accept the concept. Somebody.
Then you should be ready to accept, because you are not able to answer.
No, I'm not. I'm not able to answer. But
Yeah.
what I'm saying is,
Yes.
someone else should be able to answer this question in due course of time. That may take some more
Then
time.
you wait.
But that is the truth actually, right?
No, that is not the truth. The research is already been done in the Vedas.
No, I won't agree with this. I mean, people are doing their own researches
Okay.
till they live on this earth.
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean that is
No,
what
if you want to be keeping on being cheated by the scientists with new theories, you are free. You can wait. But I am suggesting you keep your mind open for another explanation. I'm not saying you accept
Sure,
it.
I'm ready for that.
Yeah. I'm not saying that you accept it overnight or today. I'm just
the
saying.
thing is, the practical difficulty is I'm not able to blindly believe in all these things without having proofs. Scientific,
Okay,
I'm able to. I'm
Okay,
ready to accept those
I'll
things
give you a
because they
proof.
show me the proof.
I'll give you a proof. Just a few months back, it appeared in the newspapers that at the time of death, a body of a person was kept in a glass. Which newspaper was that?
Even I have read a lot of news like this.
Yeah.
And when he was completely died, there was a break on the
Yeah.
glass, whatever it is.
Yeah. So is it not enough proof that something?
That might have happened for so many reasons.
Yeah.
The problem was with the glass. It wasn't
No, so
manufactured
then why
properly.
don't you love the dead body? You cannot give any answer to that.
Yeah, that is what I told you. I don't simply love the body.
Will you mind to just
When I say I love
will you mind to
somebody,
just hear
It
the?
includes everything. His
No.
body is.
That's okay. But
Scan-
will you mind to just keep an open mind and hear the presentation?
Like these millions of
Yeah,
people.
just keep an open mind. I'm not telling you
Millions
accept
of people
everything.
have to read through
Just
everything.
keep an open mind, and if you can't accept it, is okay, well and good. Nothing is forced. This knowledge cannot be forced.
I'm ready to listen to
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
That is the reason I'm here.
Yeah, and I am explaining logically. I am not forcing it on you. I am explaining quite logically. So just keep an open mind and.
So you explain this concept, and this is what scientists also say. They actually define a human body to.
But the scientists do not
You are
identify.
explaining the same
But the
thing.
scientists do not identify the driver of the car. I am not talking about the machine. I am talking about that we are different from the machine. There is something which is in the body which is controlling, just like a driver which controls the car. This factor is ignored by the scientists. That is what I am trying to highlight. So this is the philosophy of transmigration as described in the Vedas. I'll explain to you a very easy diagram. Consider a big apartment, which has 84 lakh, big building which has 84 lakh apartments. Sometimes we may want to stay on the top floor, sometimes we occupy the middle floor, sometimes ground floor, sometimes basement. We would like to occupy different parts of the building, but all the apartments are simultaneously existing. They are simultaneously existing at the same time. Sometimes we may occupy different apartments. Similarly, Charles Darwin's theory was he actually kidnapped his theory of evolution from the Padma Purana, from the Vedas, but he could not get the actual essence. He deformed, he distorted the theory of evolution. He thought that the Vedas are mentioning the theory of evolution of the body, that monkey is becoming a human and there was dinosaur and then monkey and then human. But the Vedas, they talk about the theory of evolution of the soul. The spirit in the body, it evolves between different bodies. It is described in the Vedas that it starts from the aquatic species. The aquatic species are the lowest species in human existence, in life. And there are 9 lakh aquatic species. Then we come to 9 lakh apartments. Just like there are 9 lakh apartments in the aquatic species. Then there are trees, tree species. There are 11 lakh apartments. Then there are insects. There are 10 lakhs. Then there are birds, 20 lakhs. Then there are mammals, 30 lakhs. And then human beings have 4 lakhs. So that is how the theory is described, that just as our body is changing during our life, every 7 years, according to medical science, all the cells in our body change. Every 7 years, we have a totally new body. So if one is 35 years old, how many bodies we have? 5 bodies we have already taken. So what is the big surprise that at the time of death, we will also change a body. We are changing bodies during our life. So is it not logical that we will change our body at the time of death? What do you think? This is logical. We are changing bodies during our life. So obviously, the different bodies are classified according to our desires. Whatever we are desiring in this life, we will get a corresponding next body at the time of death. And that permutation, combination of desire totally make up 8.4 million different bodies. And according to what actions we are performing in this life, we are actually making our next destination at the time of death. That is known as the science of self-realization. How to live in this world so that not only I improve my present life, but I actually do long-term planning. We plan for retirement, we plan for old age, but do we plan that, what will happen after death, where I have to go, what is my destination? Are we planning for that? Are there any institutes for that?
In olden days, I think in Egypt, they used to make mummies.
Yeah.
Thinking that after so many years they'll come back.
Yes.
But till today nobody has come back.
Yeah. They kept mummies thinking that they'll come back. Nobody has come. So we should also think a little beyond 60, 70 years. We should also think that, what is this death and, what happens after death. Some people say, okay, eat, drink and be merry because after death you will become dust. You will go to the graveyard and nothing to worry. Just till you live, you enjoy life. Don't worry. But my question is, do we actually die? Why? We want to remain immortal, right? Nobody wants to die. Actually, we don't want to die because actually we never die. Na hanyate hanyamane sharire. I am giving you real positive knowledge. It's not pessimistic knowledge. Actually, the soul never dies. At the time of death, just like we change clothes in the morning, we take out the old clothes and put on the new clothes. Similarly, at the time of death, the soul just gives up the old deteriorated body and takes on a new body. And that new body can be according to one's desires. Can be any one of these 84 lakh apartments. The soul can go into any of these apartments. But the big problem is that if we go, go into another apartment, then we will have, animal body. There is a lot of suffering there. We should, who likes to become an animal? Can you raise your hand? Nobody would like to become an animal. I accumulate 5 crores in my bank balance. and next life I become an animal. My soul goes into the soul, body of a dog, and the dog comes outside the ICICI bank and says, "Wow, give me my 5 crores." Sometimes you see, Ian Stevenson has made a record of 3,000 cases where they remember their past lives. You must have read these huge books of Ian Stevenson. He traveled all over the world and he recorded the fact that people, when they are 5 years of age, many cases they remember their past life, they identify the place, who killed them, who was their wife, they give all these names. So much documented. Recently in Aaj Tak television also such a case has come. You must have seen. He went to the hellish Yamloka planet and he came back. By mistake they took him. It was his uncle who was supposed to go at the time of death, and by mistake they took his soul, and then he returned back and he told everything. I came back, and his uncle died at the same time. Then he came back.
When he came back, second day.
Yeah, same time his uncle died.
And
he showed his experience.
Yeah.
So the concept says when you die,
Yeah.
you reborn as a different species.
Yeah, it depends on your.
May not be necessarily a human being.
May not be.
But when you take a human being and a non-human being, a dog or a cat or whatever it is,
Yeah.
human beings have 6th sense.
Yeah.
When you die and when you reborn as a cat, you don't have that 6th sense. How does it happen?
Because you have not made use of that 6th sense. That is why it is taken away.
If the soul remains the same,
Yeah.
as per your concept,
Yeah.
soul remains the same.
Yes.
It doesn't matter whatever you reborn
I
as,
give you an
maybe a
example.
cat or a pig or a dog
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
But you should be having that 6th sense, right? Because soul is always the constant thing.
See, I will describe to you that about the soul there are 2 coverings. That will come, it's little advanced discussion.
So soul is not a single.
Yeah, no, there are 2, subtle body and gross body. I will describe to you what is that later. But what I want to say is, I will give you an example, just answering your question in a different way. That if a manager of a company is provided with facilities like computers and motor car and office because he has a higher work to do, and if the manager does not, he goes and does the work of the clerk, what will happen? The directors will take away those facilities, right? Similarly, in the human body, if the soul does not make use of the 6th sense and the higher intelligence, then automatically by the law of action and reaction, that higher facilities are taken away from the soul. Because we did not make use of it. We never asked the question, who am I? I got intelligence in this human body, but I never asked this question. I never made use of my 6th sense. I only used my 6th sense to just be happy, live happy. And I never asked what is my destination at the time of death. So that increased consciousness, awareness, our nervous system is most developed in the human body. All other animal species, trees, plants, their nervous system is less developed.
So where do we curse animals? The dog which you see on the road might have been a human being.
Yeah,
It gets back.
we should never curse.
Yeah, possible. It's possible.
Surely, why should we curse? In
Why
fact,
you actually compare human beings with animals then?
because there is less consciousness in the animals. There is no other thing wrong. There is nothing wrong in them. But their consciousness is less. They cannot ask this question. So why? Because they lost the chance. They were also human beings one day. But they lost the chance because they never made use of that. If we don't make use of our hand for 60 years, it will stop moving. We'll get paralysis.
And you do have answers for why this difference is.
Yeah, yes. So that is a very simple logical explanation given by Krishna, that during our life our body is changing, but I am not changing. Because I am the soul, I remain the same. So similarly, at the time of death, again a new body is taken up. Because the soul cannot be destroyed, the soul cannot be burned by air, fire, cannot be wet by water, cannot be dried by air. So the soul requires some other destination to go. The soul cannot remain, soul has to remain embodied in a particular body, so that the soul occupies another body at the time of death. So this is a very logical explanation, and it is described that one who understands this science is not bewildered by the problems of death, disease, old age, because he understands that death is only like a change of clothes. It's only like a change of clothes. I am just changing bodies. So one is not afraid of death. One is not afraid of disease, because one knows that my soul can never be diseased. It is only my body which can get diseased. And because I am identifying with the body, that is why my soul is feeling pain when I get disease. Just like, in a car, a rich man was going and the car had an accident. And the bumper got broken and the headlights. So that rich man came out and started fighting with that truck guy as if he had got broken, His hands had got broken. Nothing had happened to him. Only the car had got broken. But he started fighting, you rascal, you this, you that, what you did to my car. But he was acting as if he himself has got hurt. Why? Because he was identifying with the car. He was identifying with the car, so he himself was feeling hurt. So similarly, if we know the science of self-realization, we will always remain equipoised. We will always remain equal, and we will remain very steady in whatever we do. Actually, this is the secret of success in all branches. In computer education, in spiritual education, in material education. In any science, the main quality is to remain sober and not get disturbed, because nowadays, at the drop of an hat there is fighting, quarreling, disturbance, agitation everywhere. So this knowledge is very important in the present context. So now this is the answer which I was telling you about. Question that I'm not an artist, so just I am wearing a shirt, a banyan inside, and above the banyan I am wearing a shirt, and inside the banyan, who is there? I am there. I am there, I am wearing the banyan, over that I am wearing the shirt. So I have two coverings to myself. Similarly, according to the Vedas, the soul has two coverings. The soul is a spiritual spark. The soul is made up of three ingredients. The soul is not made up of blood, flesh, mucus. The soul is made up of Sat, Chit and Anand. Sat means eternity, Chit means knowledge, and Anand means bliss. These are the three main characteristics of the soul. By nature, the soul is blissful. By nature, all knowledge is there in the soul. All knowledge which we are getting, intuition. We get an intuition sometimes. The knowledge comes from within. That's actually coming from the soul. Because the soul is full of all knowledge. So that soul is described in the actually the exact dimension of the soul is described in the Vedas. It is described the soul is 1/10,000 the tip of the hair. It's very subtle. You take the tip of the hair, and if you divide it into 10,000 parts, it's like 1/10,000 nanometer. Almost in a nanometer level. That is the size of the soul. It is a very, very powerful spiritual spark. But unfortunately, the scientists cannot see the soul under the microscope, because the microscope is made up of earth, water, gross elements. Earth, water, fire, air and ether. Whereas the soul is made up of Sat, Chit and Ananda. It is spiritual antimatter. Even in 1958, the scientist Otto Kemperlen and Emilio Segre, they came up with the discovery of the antimaterial particle. They said that this antimaterial particle is directly against matter. And they say because this antimaterial particle, they got the Nobel Prize for that. And the antimaterial particle is residing in the body. That is why the body is material and the soul is antimaterial. That is why the body is decaying. Because antimaterial and material, when they come together, there is annihilation, kind of decay. So actually the soul is not quite happy in this body, because the body is a material cage, whereas the soul is a spiritual particle. So the body, our body is made up of 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air and ether. The empty space in our body is made up of ether. Air, fire is our digestive fire, we feel hungry. That is on a Jataragni. That is the fire. The fire is also there in our body. Water, earth, it's different permutations, combinations of these chemicals. That's why it is said, according to the Vedas, there is life even on the sun planet, on the moon planet. But it is on a different realm. The bodies of those who live on the sun, their bodies have more fire element. They have less earth and water and other elements. So they can stay in fire. Nowadays the scientists have also discovered that bacteria can stay in fire at minus plus so many degrees Celsius. So there are some bodies which can even live in high extreme places. So these bodies are made up of 5 elements, and depending on the different permutation combination, there is life underwater also. So those bodies have more water element, so they can easily remain there. So that is our gross body, and inside the gross body is our subtle body. This is a very important part of our existence. Our subtle body is made up of mind, intelligence and false ego. So what happens, it is a subtle, our water is more subtle than earth, fire is more subtle than water, air is more subtle than fire, ether is more subtle than air, mind is more subtle than ether, and intelligence is more subtle than mind, and ego is more subtle than intelligence. And the soul is more subtler than all these 8. These are the 8 material energies, and the soul is a superior energy because the soul is not destroyed, whereas these are subject to perishable. They can perish. So when the soul is engaged in this gross body, the soul goes from one body to another, but the subtle body always comes with the soul. It's like, it carries the soul from one body to another. So if you see, our mind is the same in all our bodies. Our mind still has the impression, when I was a dog body, when I was in a cat body, when I was in a donkey body, that same mind we are still having now. Sometimes in the dreams in the night, you see dreams which you have never seen. How many of you have seen? You see dreams which something which you have never seen in this life. So how is that coming? That is coming from our subconscious mind, which is like a camera. It has taken shots of all the different transmigration process which we have taken, and the mind is a whole reservoir of impressions, and the superior in the mind is intelligence, which directs the mind what to do, what not to do. The mind is the gatherer of impulses, and ultimately the intelligence is and ego. Our ego is the junction point between the soul and the body. That is how the soul identifies itself with the body. That is known as ego. That is very, very subtle, the ego part. So in that way, these are the two coverings. So when we go in different bodies, like you were saying about the sixth sense, the mind remains the same. The mind is the sixth sense actually. These are the 5 and this is the sixth one. So the mind remains the same in all the different bodies which we transmigrate. So this is the science of basically transmigrating from one body to another. So, and the moment we have the body, then we are subject to 3 kinds of miseries. The first is misery given by our mind and body. Second is misery given by other living beings to us. Third is the misery given by some other forces like cyclones, earthquakes. We don't want, but they come. These miseries are known as Adi Daivik Klesh. This is known as Adi Bhautik. Sometimes we are happy, but other people speak to us very harshly and rudely. Or mosquitoes come and bite us, we get malaria. Other people, other beings inflict pain on us. That is known as Adi Bhautik. And Adhyatmik means, if nobody is there, then my mind is giving me problems. I get depression and, I break down and stress and my body having diseases. So these 3 miseries we got to face here. Since it's a very vast subject matter, it cannot be covered in 1 or 2 hours. So I'll just conclude here and then just summarize. Belong in this body. The original home of the soul is the spiritual kingdom, the spiritual realm. Now you will tell me that how do you accept the spiritual, there is a spiritual kingdom also. It's very easy, it's very easily described that you have a lake and there is a big tree and you see the reflection of the tree in the lake, right? And you see a lot of variety in the reflection. You see the fruits, the leaves, everything. So if there is so much variety in the reflection, there has to be an original somewhere. There has to be an original replica somewhere whose reflection is this world is. So according to the Bhagavad Gita, there is a spiritual realm which is 3/4 of the creation. The total creation you consider that this is the total creation, then 3/4 of the creation is the spiritual world and 1/4 of the creation is the material world. It is known as Ekpath Vibhuti. And we are actually here right now. This material creation is made up of millions of universes. Our universe, exact dimensions of our universe are mentioned as 4 billion miles. In the Vedas, nowadays the scientists are trying to measure the distance by Doppler effect. But the problem with the Doppler effect is that the light is passing through so many different environments. So they normally assume that there is vacuum or ether in the middle. But there are so many different environments, so the speed of light cannot actually determine the distance. There may be very huge errors in calculation. But our great sages of the past, they have already done the research. They have described that this material creation is 1/4 of this whole creation. And we are actually in one of the universes here. And in our universes also there are hundreds of planets, material planets. And we are on this Earth planet in the country, India and Bangalore. So we are quite insignificant, compared to the whole creation of God. But actually we don't belong here, we belong in the spiritual creation. The spiritual creation, there the soul does not get a body like here. Now we have a body which is made up of flesh, bones, perishable. But in the spiritual world, in the spiritual planets, there are also planets, there is also variety. But the soul, basically the self-realization, when the soul has to get liberated from this matter and go into the spiritual environment, because just like a fish, when a fish you take it out of water, the fish cannot survive. Similarly, the soul is in an incompatible situation right now in this body. The soul is not very happy because for the soul to be happy, dal, rice, we eat food, that is for the body. But for the soul to be happy, we require some spiritual knowledge, spiritual nourishment. So that spiritual nourishment is found abundantly in the spiritual world. So the soul, the ultimate science is at the time of death, we don't take any of these 88.4 billion apartments, we don't transmigrate, but we get a spiritual body which has no birth, no old age, no disease and death, like there is Satchit and Ananda. We get a spiritual body like that and we go into the spiritual planet. And there we have an eternal life. The soul has actual life in the eternal spiritual planets. So that is, it's a very vast subject matter. I wanted to explain to you logically about the spiritual creation, but the time is not permitting today to go in that sequence. But I briefly explained to you the ultimate. The question was, how do we solve the problem of birth, old age, disease and death? It's very easy, by developing our spiritual body, which is lying dormant in the soul. That spiritual body should be awakened. And once our spiritual body is awakened, next body will never become a cat or a dog. Next body will directly go to the spiritual platform, spiritual kingdom. So for that, the process of awakening the soul, self-realization, that process is a process of transcendental sound vibration. I'll give you an example. When you are sleeping in the night, how do you get up in the morning? Keep an alarm. You keep an alarm, some sound. Because when you sleep, only your ear is working. All other senses are sleeping. Your eyes you can't see, nothing is working. So your ear is working. Similarly, the process of awakening the soul, spiritual realization, that is also by hearing sounds. Alarm is a material sound vibration. Same way we hear a spiritual sound vibration. It is known as mantra. It's a self-realization comes by mantra. Mantra means mana trayate iti mantra. In Sanskrit, trayate means to free. Free the mind from the dead matter and take the mind to the spiritual platform. That is possible to be done by the sound vibration of the mantra. So and a mantra is not a mundane sound vibration because it awakens the soul. So the process of chanting the mantra, like we chant 3 mantras, these 2 are the most powerful mantras in this age of Kali Yuga. First is known as Nityananda, second is Gauranga. They are very, very small mantras, but if you practice it within 10 days, you will feel your consciousness has expanded, awakening of your consciousness, and your memory power, your efficiency in your studies, in your work will also increase a lot. And at the same time, you will feel the soul, you will feel who you are. Because now what I have given you is theory. It is known as Gyan. But the Vigyan, the practical, like Umesh ji also not only teaches you with the blackboard, he takes you to the computer and teaches you, the programs and how to work. Similarly, the practical is the sound of the mantra. You have heard the theory, but if you try to practice the sound of the mantra, you will realize that you are some power different from this body, and then you will always be acting on a superior platform, and the whole world will look forward to you. Actually, you will be very, very genius. You will be a different person altogether, and you will feel reconnected. And you will also be solving the 4 problems of birth, old age, disease, and death. Because by chanting the mantra, the spiritual mantra, the next life for the soul, the next body of the soul will not be in this miserable world of old age, birth, and disease, and death. So I would kindly recommend you to please think about this. We have some books here. Maybe you can ask Bilwaji, he can get more books coming back, The Science of Reincarnation, how the famous surgeon in Canada, Thomas Bigelow, he whenever he used to do the operation, he found that something was leaving the heart at the time of death. Very logically explained about the soul, the laws of nature. For every action, there is a reaction. The Isaac Newton's third law of motion. Every action you get a reaction. So you can consult the book, then you can visit our website. I will write down for you www.namyoga.com. Namyoga, NAAM-yoga.com. We have lots of videos online, and there is one DVD which you have brought. Maybe you can give it to. Its cost is only 10 rupees, so that we can make more DVDs at the cost price. And you can see there are 240 videos in those DVDs, and you can try to understand more. And those who are more interested can try out the chanting of this mantra at home, 5-10 minutes daily. You can feel the difference. There is no tax, there is no money, there is no expenditure. Only you have to little bit give some time.